that underscored the power of civic engagement. The House of Representatives Committee for Center A on the Review of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended concluded a zonal public hearing for the Southeast region comprising Anambra, Enugu, and Ebonyi states. The gathering, which took place on July the 19th, 2025, at the International Conference Center in Enugu, was a resounding success, with stakeholders and citizens coming together to contribute to the country's constitutional reform. The event began with a sense of patriotism as the national anthem and opening prayers led by Dr. Ferdinand Anikwe set the tone for a day of meaningful discussion.
In brotherhood we stand, Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign motherland.
In his welcome address, the Deputy Minority Whip of the Federal House of Representatives and the Chairman, Center A, Southeast Zone of the Committee on Constitution Review, Right Honorable Ozodino B. George, revealed the significance of the public hearing, which presents an opportunity for Nigerians and stakeholders to participate and make meaningful contributions on stipulated issues on the floor of the House. The chairman therefore urged the members of the public to focus on making contributions that will promote the peaceful coexistence of all citizens as well as strengthen the democratic institutions of the country.
An address of welcome by the Deputy Minority Whip of the Federal House of Representatives and the Chairman A Zone Southeast Committee on Constitution Review, Right Honorable George Ibezimako Ozodinobi, Ajajan Zenanimo, at this public hearing of the review of 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, holding today 19 July 2025 at this beautifully done conference center that has passed through two governors. Then this governor came to put it in order. Can we give him a hand of applause? On behalf of the Speaker of Federal Republic of Nigeria, Federal House of Rep, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, PhD, GCON, the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Okeziekano, CFR, the substantive Chairman of the Committee, the entire Principal Officers of the Federal House of Representatives, and members of this August Committee, warmly welcome all to this special event of the public hearing on Constitution on review of the 1999 Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. I quote, "The spirit of the laws propounded the theory of separation of power, separating the three arms of legislation, executive, and judiciary to be vested on three distinctive bodies in order to avoid tyranny and abuse of power as witnessed in medieval empires." Unquote. It is this constitution, therefore, that contains the stipulates the basic principles of law, ordinances of the state, social group, and determines the power and duties of the three separate arms of government and guarantee certain rights and privileges to be enjoyed by the citizens.
In a remark, the host governor, His Excellency Dr. Peter Ndubisi Mba, ably represented by Professor Chidiebere Onya, Secretary to the State Government, expressed immense pleasure and profound gratitude for the crucial public hearing, commending the National Assembly for embarking on the timely and inspirational initiatives that seeks to address the long-standing inspiration and concerns of the people.
I bring you greetings on behalf of His Excellency Dr. Peter Ndubisi Mba. So this remark It is on behalf of His Excellency, the remark for the House Committee on Review of the 1999 Constitution, public hearing here in ENUGU State. Esteemed members of the House of Representatives, distinguished guests, gentlemen, it is with immense pleasure and profound sense of responsibility that I welcome the esteemed members of the House Committee on Constitutional Amendment to ENUGU State, the heart of the Southeast region, for this crucial summer public hearing on the review of the 1999 Constitution. It is important to remark that ENUGU has one of the earliest history of formal legislative activities in Nigeria. First, your presence here today on July 19th, 2025 signifies a commendable commitment to a truly participatory and inclusive constitutional reform process, one that seeks to address the long-standing aspirations and concerns of all Nigerians. We commend the National Assembly for embarking on this timely and inspiring initiative, which offers a vital opportunity to correct the structural imbalances that have persisted since the revision of the 1999 Constitution, a document that is often criticized as a product of military dictatorship rather than a reflection of the people's will. Across our dear nation, there has been stringent calls for a wholesome review of the 1999 Constitution. The story is no different in ENUGU State. We have clearly outlined our position with regard to salient discussion points in the Constitution. I will briefly highlight some of these. The first is inclusivity. Inclusivity is the cornerstone of democracy because every voice matters. So for the Southeast is the issue of equitable state creation. As it stands, our region is the only one with just 5 states, while other geopolitical zones have 6 or 7. This disparity has led to a sense of injustice and underrepresentation. We strongly advocate for the creation of an additional state in the Southeast to provide us on par with other regions, thereby ensuring a more balanced and fair federal structure. We note that the National Assembly is currently considering bills for the creation of new states, with some of the bills originating from the Southeast underscoring the widespread desire for this correction. Furthermore, the worsening insecurity across the nation necessitates a fundamental reevaluation of our policing structure. We actively support the creation of state police service, operating alongside the federal police, but with clearly defined and delimited jurisdiction and operational parameters. This decentralization of policing is not merely a theoretical concept. We urge the committee to reinforce Section 7(1) of the 1999 Constitution to ensure the democratic existence and financial independence of local government areas, allowing them to directly access their funds from the national consolidated accounts. Particularly for women, we propose the creation of additional legislative seats. Specifically, we advocate for 1 additional seat per state for women, 2 additional House of Representative seats per state, and 3 additional state assembly seats per state for women. This measure will significantly boost gender parity and ensure active participation of women in governance and decision making. We are confident that the constitutional review process, with its emphasis on public engagement, will lead to a more legitimate and widely accepted land norm for Nigeria. The Southeast is ready to contribute constructively to this endeavor, and we look forward to a future where our Constitution truly embodies the aspiration of we, the people. On that note, I declare this public hearing open. Thank you so much. God bless ENUGU State. God bless the Southeast. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you so much.
On the stringent calls for a wholesome review of the 1999 Constitution, Governor Mba highlighted the position of ENUGU State and South-East at large with regards to salient discussion points in the Constitution, which includes equity and inclusivity, Strong advocate for creation of additional states in the Southeast to ensure balance and fair federal structure. Creation of state policing services to address worsening security challenges in the region. Local government autonomy. Concept of rotational presidency. Additional legislative seats for women to ensure active participation of women in governance. Electoral reform and independent candidacy. Inclusion of traditional institutions in the Constitution. In conclusion, Governor Mba expressed belief that the civic engagement is well intended and not mere formalities, as he urged members of the public to fully participate and constructively engage in their civic responsibility. In his goodwill message, His Royal Highness Igwe Chidubem Iweka, the chairman of the Anambra State Traditional Rulers Council, spoke on the welfare of the traditional rulers across the Southeast, particularly regarding the enshrinement of the functions of the traditional leaders in the Nigerian Constitution.
Today, I give this goodwill message on behalf of my traditional rulers here present and those absent. I speak for the welfare of Indigenous generally in the state, generally in the country. Now, traditional rulers in 1979, their functions were removed from the Constitution. And since then, traditional rulers have been functioning without proper government recognition and backing. And I believe that it's a loss to the country, because traditional rulers are the ones on ground, and the people are still believing and depending on us in security, in tradition, and otherwise. That it is very, very necessary to restore the functions of the traditional rulers and give us constitutional roles so that we may do better jobs and engage properly in the governance of the nation generally. It is the best.
Similarly, His Royal Majesty Igwe Samuel Ikechukwu Asado, chairman of ENUGU State Traditional Leaders Council, expressed gratitude to the federal government for giving its consent for the crucial engagement, as he strongly advocated for the recognition and government backing of the functions of traditional leaders, emphasizing their proximity to the people.
ENUGU, of all people here, my brother has spoken. Traditional institution is the area you have the best number of professionals in the whole world. Anything you want in your practice is there in the traditional institution. How can we begin to neglect that? I'm thanking you because I know in your minds you will be down, because some of you will come in to be traditional rulers. So we will make the place so soft for you guys. So please, and some of you like the traditional institution, like the chieftaincy that they're giving, and how the committee are being groomed and built up. Everybody has where they started, whether from their king and your chief. Our own is not different. I know, that's why I'm talking from the ground of thankfulness, because I know it's already enshrined. It was a mistake, and anything what we is what we were. That's why we're not highlighting much on that, because we know better. This is a progressive Nigeria from the progressive government, and thanking all of you. My own, like I said, is gratefulness and grateful heart. If it has to be done now, if it's now or never. So we have to do the right thing. And the other things we're talking about, state creation, equity, and justice. You know that. Most great men are creatures of circumstance. And if you remember that this is a perfect deed that remains monumental, unquote, from some professor of justice in Shubu University in Israel. So what you do now is what you need to be remembered for. It's not about how many millions of naira you have in your bank account. It's those impressive deeds that remain monumental. So I thank you people, I thank the governor of the ENUGU State for giving this robust appeal, and the members of the press, the members of the military, the members of the service, and all the community members here, all the professionals here present in the from Adada State. And God bless all of you.
representing the Chairman Traditional Rulers Council of Ebonyi State, Dr. Onyiba Cosmas Nnemeka Ago, echoed this sentiment and also advocated for a reserved seat for women in the House of Representatives to facilitate participation in women's inclusion in politics.
I am going to speak on two areas. The first is the traditional issue, and the second is on the women, on how the women will be given separate constitution and separate and a special seat. Two, that the traditional rulers, you have right to perform by certain issues that is very much noise, please. The traditional institution. This panel should look into the secrets of the traditional rulers. It is amazing and very surprising that the traditional rulers don't have anything to go home or to think about. Their salaries is very poor. Secondly, this panel should look into the welfare of the traditional rulers. They don't have security anywhere. They should be given security, both in their palace and when they are going out for official duties. We don't have money to pay for all the security issues. So the government should make it compulsory that every traditional ruler in this country should be given a police officer to take care of his movements.
Moving on, at the event, the lead consultant for Zone A Southeast Public Hearing, Right Honorable Toby Okechukwu, gave a preamble of the compendium of bills under consideration at the Federal House of Representatives for public views and constructive inputs. The compendium of the bills is organized according to the following thematic areas: electoral reform, judicial reform, legislature, inclusive governance, security and policing, devolution of powers, strengthening institutions, traditional institutions, fiscal reforms, citizenship and indigenship, fundamental human rights, local government reform, state and local government creations. Honorable Okechukwu also opened the floor for various groups and stakeholders to make their presentation on matters of interest, beginning with the Speaker of the Ebonyi State House of Assembly.
I'll just make a summary, and my summary will very so much on local government creation and reforms. Under the local government creation, Ebonyi has applied for additional 13 local governments. New local governments to be created out of the present 13 local governments. Secondly, on the reform about local government autonomy, we support local government autonomy wholeheartedly. Our reservation is on the protection of some sections in the local government autonomy, which includes the protection of teacher salary and welfare, the protection of the primary health, and in asking for the protection of teacher salary and their welfare, there are other sub-units or agencies created out of 1976 reforms of the local government report. When state creation, the position of the state as far as Southeast is concerned is that there should be a balance first, that is the justice We are seeking for justice first. Let us be given one additional state. If we are given one additional state, then if another state has been added to the geopolitical zones, then we could still be demanding for more of our own. But for now, we are demanding for one additional state to balance the number of states in geopolitical zone. And let us also emphasize about this local government. There is imbalance in the situation where some states are 30 local governments, and 34 and 42 and so on, and so we have 9. And since we are talking about money, how do you balance it? There is no justice. If a certain amount is being allocated to states as money per local government, it should be uniform. So if all these disparities are corrected, we are completely in support of local government creation. And with that, you will see on state police, we are 100% behind state police. Today, Ebonyi is being regarded as one of the safest states, not just in the south, but across Nigeria. Because what is happening is that each state community is in charge of their security. If any security insecurity is coming out, what the government does is to ask people who are in charge of that place, who are the stakeholders, the consumer rulers, what is happening in your area. Thank you. So, with that is
My name is Dr. Dave Nnamani.
All right. The most interesting part of this public hearing was presentation and request for Adada. Do you think we deserve to come to fruition, Adada State? Thank you.
Adada came prepared. It's a journey we started since 1970. So we were not taken unawares. We started asking it right from Banefu Commission in 1970 during the regime of Gowon. In 1979, during the Second Republic, Senator Zehani moved the motion for the creation of Adada State in the Senate. Honorable Carlton moved the motion in the House of Representatives in 1983. In 1996, when Abacha was about to create a state, he was to create Adada State, if not for Dr. Akanibiam, who made a passionate appeal for a Ebonyi state to be created. In 2007, Ken Nnamani as Senate President. It was almost a done deal because the Autonomy Committee in Owerri, the whole southeastern legislators recommended Adada State. And but for the quest for third term, Adada State would have been created. Right from Chimuobodo as governor, Sisiono as governor, Okwesleze as governor, Chimaroke Nnamani as governor, Sullivan Chime as governor, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi as governor, Peter Mba as governor, Sam Egwu as governor of Ebonyi, Elechi as governor of Ebonyi, and Dave Umahi as governor of Ebonyi, and the present governor, Nwifuru. They are all in support of the creation of Adada State. Reason being that the Igbo land is strategically divided between north and south. The south currently is made up of 3 states, Anambra, Imo, and Abia. And the north is marginalized with only Ebonyi and ENUGU. And justice demands that if they are creating one state from the southeast, it should be Adada State. Adada is currently made up of 7 local governments, issues of local government, Udenu local government, Igboeze North, Igboeze South, Nsukka, Uzuwane, and Ileti. Currently, they constitute 62% of the population of current ENUGU states. And they are in harmony. They want the state to be created. All the legislators, right from the councillors, all the local government chairmen, all the House of Assembly members, all the House of Representatives, all the senators, all the chairmen, they have all signed for the creation of Adada State. So we call on Mr. President to give the Igbos justice, to give the Southeast justice by creating Adada State.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Assembly that empowers NSCDC to be where it is today and to perform security functions is allowed to perform by law. Our prayer today is that Section 214 of the 1999 Constitution is amended, expanded, and NSCDC, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, be given the enshrine into the Constitution to effectively perform its security duties, especially the protection of critical national assets and infrastructure across Nigeria, among other duties assigned to the agency. I so pray. Thank you so much.
So we are from these three states, and we are here to make a position to the Nigerian Legislative Chamber with the Constitutional Review Committee ongoing. We felt the call has come of age, being that this same legislature empowered this call in 2003 to become a full-fledged paramilitary agency in Nigeria, and the whole Nigeria is not in doubt of the contribution we've made to national security. Yes. As I speak to you, our men are still in the bushes, fighting alongside the military, and we are supporting other security agencies through intelligence gathering and even physical security, which no Nigeria can doubt the role the NSCDC has been playing. Since the coming up of the Commandant General of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, MNI-OFR, his efforts to restructure the Corps has been enormous. Several trainings, several personnel we have lost in the course of securing and safeguarding Nigeria. The press can note the number of security men NSCDC has lost in the line of protecting critical national assets and lives and properties. So we've come here today to ask that NSCDC should be enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, that it is the only objective thing to be done. If Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps is enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, then our roles will be given the needed tooth and backing to perform its duties, with boldness and the capacity we have. I am so happy that the Nigerian populace are giving us so much support, as we can see today the presentation. Since came out, Nigerian Union of Journalism are behind us, and every Nigerian. There is no prominent person in Nigeria and communities across that we know say NSCDC is not doing its duties or functions. We are across the 774 local governments across the states, with other subdivisions across hamlets and communities. And with this support, we are very, very sure and resolute that our voice will be heard. Thank you so very much. God bless you. My name is Dr. Elijah Itam. We lead the State Commandant of Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, ENUGU State Command.
As far as the creation of Adada State is concerned generally, it brings development closer to people. That's number one. But on the issue of Adada State, if it is created, we have a lot of minerals there. We have a lot of things that we can do on our own. In fact, I need to tell you that we definitely will not depend on federation accounts or going to Abuja every month, because we have gas, we have oil, we have talk about the institutions. I will have more power. In the proposed Adada State, we have about up to 5 judicial institutions. You have the University of Nigeria, you have the University of Nigeria and Suka, you have SUMAG, you have Federal Government College of Education, you have College of Education Ogodo. So what I keep saying it, in Adada State, every kitchen has not less than 3 to 5 graduates. So human resources is not a problem there. So you are talking about benefit. That's what I'm telling you, and it's going to add to whatever you call GDP of both Enugu State and Adada. Look, and the most important thing is that if you while we're asking for Adada State, every person here should understand. Somebody came here to talk about equity and whatever. We are saying that we are just the only state that should be created, and it will solve two problems at a time. And people don't realize this. Why we are saying it is that it's very essential that if Adada is created, you will discover that the internal imbalance which we are crying for. Somebody here was talking about Abia being carved out between ENUGU and Abia State. It's not correct. I have a document, written by when they were looking for ENUGU State. 1970 submitted to go on. That document divided Southeast into two. And you discover that in that place, because that it is just pure unification. They brought back these people from where they actually belong. It's not about carving part of Enugu or carving part of Abia. You understand? Now, Southern Igbos, you have 3 states already. And somebody is telling me that you get the 6th state and you go and give it to them again. Then Enugu will remain 2. Then remember, you are talking about going to have what do you call it? Regional body will be part of that, because we are finished. If we accept to have 2 states and go and join Southern Igbo with 4 states and form a Southern administration, it's not going to work. You understand? Because they already have 3 states. The proper thing is that if Adada is created, we will be 3-3. Then we'll join hand and talk about either Equity State or whichever state. And our brothers know this. They're just oppressing us. They have to know Anambra, Imo, and Abia. You know that Adada don't know before. And then Ebonyi and Enugu is the Wawa people. So if you create another state in Southeast and send it to Agbenu, then they become 4. Then when you talk about regional administration, Southeast administration, which is where they are going to, you expect that Wawa will come and join you with only 2 states? No, it's not going to work. And because, let me tell you, we have, the constitution allows us to determine where we go. You know what I'm saying? We have boundary with South-South. We have boundary with North-Central. So if we are not giving the 3rd state and you create the 4th state and send it to that side, we definitely will not participate. Any other question?
When you think of online TV and radio, broadcasting, media consultancy, event coverage, event management and planning, there's no better name than Ogama TV. But that's not all. We're also into photo studio and coverage, equipment rental, news blogging, fashion and pageantry. We are at number 5/21 Chime Avenue, beside Open Sheraton Restaurant, New Haven, Enugu. Follow us on our social media handles: Facebook at Ogama TV, Instagram at Ogama TV1, Twitter at Ogama TV, website www.ogamatv.com. You can also send us email at ogamatv@gmail.com. Ogama TV, your one-stop media solution.